Reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā 8, chapter 267. Eka saṁśaya mora, āchaye hṛdaye, kṛpā kari kaha mora, tāhāra niścaye. Rāmānanda Rāya then said, he had but one doubt within his heart, and he petitioned the Lord, please be merciful upon me and just remove my doubt. Om Caitanya-caritamṛta Madhya-līlā Taksur unmalatam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Sapadantikam Pancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kṛpā Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So it's so nice. We're continuing the, if you give me a tissue, okay. We're continuing the Rāmānanda Samvad. And it's very relevant, the first verse that was mentioned. And I think we described this many times, but it's particularly relevant here, is Rāmānanda Rāya is compared to a cloud, and Lord Chaitanya is compared to the ocean. So the ocean gets filled by the rainwater. Well, that's the way it appears. But actually, the clouds come from the water evaporated from the ocean. So this is so analogous to their dialogue, because Lord Chaitanya, he's Krishna in the form of a devotee who's trying to become complete by developing love of Godhead. And to do that, he has to go to the devotees. And when he's in Puri and he's talking with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya recommends that somehow he sees Rāmānanda Rāya. So he has that in his heart, but he doesn't really know where he is, and he's not making a petition. It's just an idea that this person is very good association. He's the most learned person in terms of rasa tattva, the subject of rasa. And in your pursuit of this objective of yours, which happens to be his antaranga hetu, the internal cause for his appearing, which is to get Krishna consciousness and experience it at the point of its highest level, which is the love of Srimati Radharani. So, he has that mind in his mind, but he's not making a plan. He's not going in any proper direction. He has no, it's lila. Lila means play. Like a child, why does a child move? It's how the child feels they're moving. So how does God move? He has no objective. It's how he feels he's moving. And if there is some direction that's needed, that's taken care of by Krishna's own Lila Shakti. If there's any sense to the Leelas, it's his own potency which directs it. But somehow or other, he winds up and he meets Rāmānanda Rāya. And this discussion ensues based on Lord Chaitanya's question, please recite a verse describing the ultimate goal of life. And no matter where he goes, Lord Chaitanya says something further, something further, something further. Gopi Bhav, certain something further. Radha Bhav, something further. Radha Sarup, something. Go further and further and further. And every time he's asked to go further, Rāmānanda Rāya is just astounded. He says, this is not possible. But somehow or other, you're empowering me. My tongue is like a string, but you're the one playing the string. And the questions go on, and they're very, very deep. And they culminate in this vision, this verse describing the love and Radha Krishna, where their hearts melt in devotion. And they're each so absorbed in the object of their love that they forget themselves as the subject. And Rāmānanda Rāya is basically astounded, and he just makes what's happening is analogous to what happened to Lord Brahma at the beginning of creation. How did Lord Brahma, Tene Brahma, Adi Kavaye, he's the original speaker, Lord Brahma. How did he, Tene Brahma, Adi Kavaye, in the heart, he was inspired by Krishna. And this is Krishna consciousness ultimately. To fully understand God, Pantastu koti satavatsara sampragamyo vayor atapi munaso muni pungavana. A muni, person of analysis, he can analyze, and he can't reach God by the speed of mind, even after millions and millions of births. So it comes from, and I quoted two verses that kind of explain this. Sarvasya chaham hiti sanivishto matasmitir gyanam. Poen, I am speeching with your heart, for me becomes remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tvam yenamam. For one who worships me with faith, I give them the knowledge. I give them the knowledge. We're practicing, we're praying, and we're using our intelligence. I described how Prabhupada describes the use of intelligence. He said, it's not the guru gives an electric shock on the disciple's head and the disciple becomes enlivened, but the use of intelligence in Krishna's service. Then Krishna can reciprocate with some true understanding and some revelation. So Rāmānanda Rāya, at the end of this, he recognizes this, and we recognize this for any deep realization in Krishna consciousness. You know, I'm writing these Monday morning greetings, and now it's been I think I finished my 7th year. There'll be a happy birthday Monday morning greetings. I typically write a review every year, you know, the first week of the Monday, 7 years. And it's so obvious. I mean, I have some ability to think in a particular way. I have some propensity for this service. But whatever comes out, it's so beyond me. I'm watching it go beyond me. I'm watching the realizations coming. You know, when I start and I look at the page and I realize it's impossible, you know, to come out with something that I'm satisfied with, but I watch it. I watch it. And this is the story of Mother Yasoda trying to bind Krishna. It's 2 inches short. One is the effort, and the other is mercy. It is Krishna's mercy, but it's not that we do nothing. We have to, our effort is to attract mercy. We can attract mercy. We can't demand mercy. And that's also the story of Narada Muni. When he got Sakshat Darshan, he performed a great austerity as a young child, traveling through all God's creation. He sat down, he meditated, he felt, but the second can't come, because it's ultimately in Krishna's hands. And it's not just the work we do, but it's the attitude in which we do it. And sometimes when we achieve something, we come in the illusion that it was the work we've done. If we lose our desperation in Krishna consciousness, if we lose our desperation, we'll lose the mood to attract Krishna's mercy. You know, prema is a thirst. Just like it was described in the previous verse when it described prema, that there's great taste after hunger. So the taste of Krishna consciousness has to have a hunger. A hunger means we're lacking. We're lacking. The thirst, water tastes so good, because we're lacking. That's why humility is such a foundational principle, and it's not artificial. Humility is a realization of the truth. Humility is seeing God. Humility is seeing ourselves. So Rāmānanda Rāya, he's just astounded by what he's accomplished in this discussion. And the last thing he done, the previous verse, he quotes the first verse of the Bhagavatam, the invocation, Tene Brahma Adi Kavaye, in the heart. In the heart. Another verse, Srinvata Swa Kata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hidyantasto Yabhadrani Vidanoti Saritsita. Krishna sees something. It's not you're not doing anything. What is he seeing? He's seeing exactly what we're doing now. Exactly what we're doing now. Srinvata Swa Kata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. It's very purifying. Punya Shravana Hidyantasto in the heart. Abhadrani. It's very, very, very auspicious. This Srinvata Swa Vidanoti Suritsatam, and it cleans the heart. It cleans, so something is happening to us in Krishna consciousness. So we've got up to this point where Rāmānanda Rāya has this realization. And it's just the realization you need to experience God's love. because God's love is mercy. And mercy, the experience of mercy means that there's something I'm getting which is beyond what I have earned. It's a platform of humility. That's why pride ruins bhakti. Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir Edamana Vanat Navahat Yabadaitum Vaitwam Akinchana Gotra. I'm available to those in the Gotra, in the line of the Akinchana Gotra, the Gotra of those who don't feel they have anything outside of God's mercy. The feelings. And when you have that feeling of Janma, birth, Aishvarya, opulence, Shruta, my learning, Shrivya, my aristocracy, the women I have, the men I have, and you become intoxicated by that. Then the real feelings of Krishna consciousness don't take place. And that's what's happening in the world. Krishna is giving us himself. He's given us himself already, but we can't feel it. Because we're covered by false ego. We don't have humility. So he's trying to give himself to us. And now in this verse, because now it's kind of switched a little bit, because Rāmānanda Rāya was basically instructing Lord Chaitanya, but now he's inquiring. And he says, I have a doubt. Doubt, according to Kapila Deva, is one of the 5 signs of intelligence. It means that you want to understand things further. Doubt is necessary to understand things deeply. But the doubt is not in the authority of Krishna consciousness or the one who represents that authority. The doubt is in your own understanding of it. So he has a doubt within his heart. And be merciful, because remove the doubt. Why remove the doubt? Because to step forward, you need faith. Without faith, you don't move. Without faith, that's why faith is so strong. It's our conviction, it's our experience in the goal that inspires us to dedicate ourselves and work and do the work necessary to achieve it. That's why it's such a tragedy when leaders disappoint us, because it affects faith. And then people become faithless. This is the problem in the modern age. People are faithless. The whole Vedic culture was to promote faith. Faith was so much important. Trust was so much important. It was cultivated at an early age. So now he expresses his doubt. Pahile dekilun tomara sannyasi sarup. Ebe toma deki muni shama goparup. Rāmānanda Rāya told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at first I saw you appear like a sannyasi, but now I am seeing you as Sham Sundar, the cowherd boy. This is my doubt. Just like Lord Chaitanya expressed his doubt to his Guru Maharaj. I'm chanting like a madman. I'm crying. I'm so emotional. Is this advancement in spiritual life? What kind of advancement is this? Supposed to be a sannyasi, control my emotions, but I'm completely out of control. And his doubt was clear. No. This is coming from the soul. This is actually the goal of life. So now he continues his doubt. And imagine his feelings in this exchange with Lord Chaitanya, where out of his mouth is coming these yatshrinvatam rasa jnanam, this rasa jnanam, this knowledge of love, which is a feeling of love itself. It's not just theoretical. When you talk about Krishna, it's not just intellectual, it's experiential. When you hear about Krishna, it's not just a question of understanding, it's also a question of feeling. So Rāmānanda Rāya was so scholarly, but he was serving Lord Chaitanya. And now he's going to experience the piyojana, which is feeling Lord Chaitanya, feeling deeply his relationship with God. Tamara sumuke deke kanchini panchalika, tanre gora kante tumara sarva angadhaka. I now see you appearing like a golden doll, and your entire body appears covered by a golden luster. So now he saw Shamarup, the form of Sham. Sham means dark. Now he's seeing golden. And such a brilliant luster. Of course, it's going to be revealed what's happening, that who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna. So he's actually kind of realizing this. He's actually seeing it. Tahate prakata dekon savamsi vadan nana bhave chanchala tahi kamala nayana. I see that you're holding a flute to your mouth and your lotus eyes are moving very restlessly due to various ecstasies. So imagine what he's seeing. He's been with Lord Chaitanya as a sannyasi. And then there's a revelation that this Shama Rup, that this is Krishna. It's very dark color. And then there's a golden color. And now he sees Krishna with a flute. And you know, Prabhupada quoted Bhakti Santa, don't try to see Krishna, try to act in a way that Krishna wants to see you. That's a principle for any relationship. I make this point many times. The real person is his love, and that love, as a father, as a mother, as a boyfriend, as a girlfriend, as a child, as a parent, that aspect of us, that full aspect of our personality, another person understands it when that person gives that to them. The major part of ourselves is unseen and only within our hands to reveal. So now, somehow being so satisfied with the love of Rāmānanda and the service he performed of answering his questions, and he's so satisfied by what comes out of, you know, the face is the index of the mind, and so is our speech. So he's understanding, he's feeling Rāmānanda Raya's love to such a degree that he's now willing to reveal himself and his full self. And what is he? I'm Shamarup. I'm the cowherd boy. And I have this golden luster, which is a hint of my nature is Sri Radha. And now I'm blowing the flute. And now, so he's seeing this. And the eyes are moving. Rāmānanda Rāya is watching the eyes. I'm seeing the eyes moving. that are very, very restless in various ecstasies. Mata toma deki hoya chatmakar, akapate kaha prabhu karana ihar. I actually see you in this way, and this is very wonderful. My Lord, please tell me, without duplicity, what is causing this? So initially, Lord Chaitanya, I'm going to give coming attractions, he doesn't answer him directly. All he's going to say is when you have love of Godhead, you see reality. Because it's our hate that covers reality. If you have envy, you don't see a person's value. Especially a worthy person's value. So your envy, which is manifest in your desire for sense gratification, it covers reality. You see God's energy as yours so that you can satisfy this desire for superiority and control. So Lord Chaitanya just explained, I'm not surprised that your vision has changed because you love reality and therefore you're not threatened to see it for what it is. You have to have a lot of love reality to actually understand the position of God and the expose that it's not you. Envy is very, very deep. We project so much of our own experiences and desires on reality. Even what we hear, even what we see. It's just like in the modern world, everything's party line. Everything's a narrative. It doesn't matter what it is, and people believe it. And I'm watching this. Everything's seen through a particular desire, not the way it is. It's happening in the world today. And it's amazing how many obvious things people are not able to see. They don't let their facts get in the way of their truth. So Lord Chaitanya, he's explaining. Gada prem, your deep prem. And when you have that, then niścaye, janira, then certainly you know the nature of things. Maha Bhagavata Deki Stavara Jangama. Tahan, hoya, tanra, say Krishna Spuran. A devotee advanced on the spiritual platform sees everything movable and inert as a supreme Lord. For him, everything he sees here and there is but a manifestation of Lord Krishna. That is reality. Things may have their shape and form, but their energy is God's. Advayam Gyan, consciousness which nothing is separate from. And one on the highest level of reality identifies things and sees things for what they are. And that's why Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, there's some quote, he says, the devotee becomes thrilled every moment. Because when you see your beloved, you feel your beloved. When you see someone whom you understand you have a relationship, you feel that relationship. So he says, a Mahabhagavat, he sees that Sri Krishna Spurna, it's Krishna's manifestation. Stavara Jangama Deke Na Deke Tara Murti Savitra Hoya Nija Ishta Deva Spurti. The Mahabhagavat, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he's not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. This was the description of the Prayojana Tattva, the truth of the goal, explained in the Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam, where the 4 verses, the first 2 verses describe Sambandhagyan, an understanding of reality, of metaphysics, and an epistemology. It describes what is reality and how do you know it. What is reality? And how can you affirm that it's true? And then there's Abhidaya again, the means to understand it. And then Prayojana, the result of doing so. What is the goal? So when it describes the goal, it's to see God everywhere, inside and out. To be free from Maya. Maya means not this, not the truth, not this, not the truth. Not that it's connected to God. Because when you see things connected to God, your relationship with them is very much different. When you see them disconnected from God, then it's a natural desire as a conditioned soul to want to enjoy them, which is the psychological reason why you see them as different from God. Because if you see them as God, there's no sense of that superiority in relationship to the environment. Nor is there a desire to move the world according to one's desire. Rather, when you have that devotional desire, you tend to want to, you see things in relationship to God and you move things in relationship to God. So this is Lord Chaitanya's answer. You're just a Mahabhagavat. Of course you're seeing reality. Sarva bhuteshu yat pashyed. Bhagavat bhavan atmana bhutani bhagavat atmani esha bhagavatotama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, a person advanced in devotional service sees within everything the soul of souls, the personality of God at Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated in him. That's what happens when one becomes advanced in Krishna consciousness. You're feeling Krishna's presence everywhere. Vanalatas tarava atmane vishnum vyanjayantya iva pushpa paladya pranatabhara vitapta madhudara premarishta tanava vabrishu smar. This is a verse from the Bhagavatam, the songs of the gopis. And it kind of exemplifies what happens when one has this love for Krishna. The plants, creepers, and trees were full of fruits and flowers due to ecstatic love for Krishna. So, I mean, this is also Vrindavan. Flowers bloom as an offering to Krishna, and Krishna picks each flower in Vrindavan. And fruits bloom out of love. It's devotion, it's bhakti. Bhakti is best expressed as service, which is loving reciprocation to the Lord. The factors of the mind, body, and words. So this is through the body. The fruit is offering, it's love. The wind is blowing, it's love. The flowers are blooming. When Krishna comes to the forest of Vrindavan, all the flowers begin to bloom. Why not? It's a land of love. Why can't Krishna pick every flower? And why can't a plant feel that eternally? Indeed, being so full, they were bowing down. They were inspired by such deep love for Krishna that they were constantly pouring showers of honey. In this way, the gopis saw all the forests of Vrindavan. Of course, they actually saw really what was happening in Vrindavan. You know, what's happening in this world in interaction with people is not just bodies, it's minds. The body is the expression of the mind. So a person who's really aware of reality, even on a mundane platform, has a depth of understanding, not just what the body is doing, what the mind is doing. And I did read in one book that, you know, that autism, the spectrum of autism is a degree that a person with that is not able to understand the mind from seeing the body. When you understand this fact, just shut off the sound of something and see how much the different facial movements represent the mind. So in one sense, the higher reality is the mind. And one is Krishna conscious can see God's mind in the world as the world is moving. So what to speak of the gopis in Vrindavan. They're going into Vrindavan and they're searching for Krishna. And they just see this ecstatic love. In other words, there's a mundane vision and there's a spiritual vision. The mundane vision sees the surface and misinterprets it. The spiritual vision sees the surface and understands it, and understands the movement of things in connection with God. And that's one of the highest visions. When Marge Prickett wanted to saw the bull was being beaten and wouldn't identify the perpetrator because he saw Krishna's hand in it. And what's the reaction of someone in difficulty when he has that spiritual vision? He bows his head and says, "Thank you." That's what Jiva Goswami says. You bow your head, you say, "Thank you." Radha Krishna Tomara Mahaprem Hoy, Yahantahan Radha Krishna Tomara Spurai. Lord Chaitanya continued, "My dear Rai, you are an advanced devotee and always filled with ecstatic love for Radha and Krishna. Therefore, whatever you see anywhere and everywhere simply awakens your Krishna consciousness." Roy kahe, "Prabhu tume chari bhara bhuri, mora age nija rupa na kariyak." He replied, Rāmānanda Rāya, "My dear Lord, please give please give up all these serious talks. Please do not conceal your real form from me. Yes, I have a spiritual vision and I'm looking at you. And I now know what's going on. Because out of my love, you can't hide yourself from me anymore. Radhikara bhave kante karyangakar, nijarasa ashvadite, karyacha avatar. Rāmānanda Rāya continued, my dear Lord, I can understand that you've assumed the ecstasy and bodily complexion of Srimati Radharani. By accepting this, you are tasting your own personal transcendental humor and have therefore appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the whole story, the ontological understanding of God on this platform of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which is such a beautiful concept, that God, to be complete, he has to be the supreme enjoyer. Because if you're not the supreme enjoyer, you're not the supreme controller, because it means you can't move things in the right way. So God is the supreme enjoyer. And what is he enjoying? He's enjoying love. But to be the supreme enjoyer of love, you have to be both the object of love, the beloved, and the subject of love, the lover. So Lord Chaitanya, in his relationship with Radharani, understands that there's three experiences of enjoyment that he's lacking as the beloved. And that is the experience of love for him, the experience of perception of him, and the experience of his love. So it's like this. This is Krishna, Radharani. Radharani has this experience of love, has experience of Krishna, and has experience of Krishna's love for her. And that's so relishable. So he says, by taking this position of Radharani, I'm seeing this luster. Then what is happening? Nija rasa ashvadite. You are tasting your own transcendental mellow of love for yourself. Nija rasa ashvadite. You are tasting Niścaye prema ashvadana. Anushange prema maya koila tribhuvana. My dear Lord, you have descended in this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya for your own personal reasons. You've come to taste your own spiritual bliss. And at the same time, you are transforming the whole world by spreading the ecstasy of love of Godhead. If Rāmānanda Rāya was inspired to answer this verse, explain a verse as the ultimate goal of life and go to the highest position of Radha and Krishna's love, then why can't he understand who is Lord Chaitanya? And he says, there's two reasons you've come. Anushange, simultaneously. Prema ashvadanam. You're tasting praying. And prema mayi, koila tribhuvanath, and all the worlds, you are prema mayi, you are transforming the worlds into prema. You are experiencing prema and you're transforming the world. Rāmānanda Rāya says, this is Nija Guda Karya Tama. This is your Nija Guda Karya. This is your confidential kari. This is your confidential work. Your own Buddha, deep, confidential, secret work. Prema ashvadana. You're experiencing the taste of prema and anushange simultaneously. Prema mayi, koila tribhuvana. You're transforming the world into this. Apane aila more korite udhar. Ebe kapata kara tomara kon vyavahar. My dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, you have appeared before me to grant me liberation. Now you are playing in a duplicitous way. What is this reason? So you came to liberate me, and now you're going this Radha Krishna, golden Shamaru, playing the flute. What are you doing this for? This kapata. Kapata means duplicity of your vyavahar, your behavior. So why? What are you doing this for? Tabe hase tanra prabhu dekila sarup rasaraj mahabhav dui ekarup. Lord Sri Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and Srimati Radharani is the personification of ecstatic love of Godhead. These two forms have combined as one in Lord Chaitanya. This being the case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his real form to Rāmānanda Rāya. So he showed that Rasaraj, the king of enjoying all rasas, and Mahabhav, the condition of love, Dui Ekarup, they're in one form. Rasaraj and Mahabhav Sarup. Rasaraj, the one who's experiencing the love, and Mahabhav, the one who is giving the love. Dui Ekarup. These two are in one now. Purport. This is described as Radha, Bhava, Jyoti, Subalitam, Nahomi, Krishna, Sarupa. And this was explained by Srila Dhanurdhara. This is a famous verse. Radha, Krishna, Pranaya, Vikritir, Ladani, Shaktir, Asmad. Ekat Manav, Api, Bhuvi, Pura, Ebedam. Deki Rāmānanda, Vaila Ananda Murchite, Darite Napari Deha, Padila Bhumate. Upon seeing this form, Rāmānanda Rāya lost consciousness in transcendental bliss. Unable to remain standing, he fell to the ground. Prabhu Tanre Hasta Sparshi, Karila Chaitana, Sanyasira Veshadeki, Vismita Hoilama. When Rāmānanda Rāya fell to the ground unconscious, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his hand and he immediately regained consciousness. When he saw Lord Chaitanya in the dress of a sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. So now Lord Chaitanya is just in the dress now of a sannyasi. Alingana Kari Prabhu Kaila Ashvasana Toma Vina E Rupa Na Deki Anyajan. After embracing Rāmānanda Rāya, the Lord purified him, pacified him, informing him, but for you, no one has seen this form. So we know that Rāmānanda Rāya is one of the most confidential associates. And again, something that's confidential is something which is not easily understood outside of your own heart and frame of reference. And because it's not easily understood outside of your heart and frame of reference, confidential things are only given to people whom you trust, have deep love for you. And this is really what bhakti is. It's Krishna revealing himself. And that's why it says, Bhava Bhakti is Sadulabha. Because Bhava even controls Krishna. So why will he give it so easy? He'll only give it to someone who will serve him. And gradually, the sincere devotee, this purport is nice. The Lord always reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. The devotees have always engaged in the service of the Lord, serving with the tongue by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and tasting Mahaprasad. Gradually, a sincere devotee pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Supreme Lord reveals himself. One cannot see the Supreme Lord by making personal efforts. Rather, when the Lord is pleased by the service of a devotee, he reveals himself. Okay, we're almost at the end, but we'll stop here for today. Jamuna Jaya, what points did you appreciate today? You do this nice service of starting things off.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful class. I really appreciated the thing about faith, that we move by faith, which I sort of like been thinking about, but also that this society is our society is so messed up because there is no faith, which you were talking about the leaders. And when the leaders have betrayed us, then people have no faith. And as a society, we can never sort of recover from that. I hadn't thought about that really in that way. So I really appreciated that we have no faith because of the betrayals that have taken place.
Right. And then, right, it's hard to move without faith. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Did you say hello to Bryn?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I said, you got a major shout out from Maharaj and Yogamaya. She goes, oh, tell him thank you. So hopefully when you get back, maybe she'll have you over at Yogamaya, which would be wonderful.
Do they have programs? Do they have yoga classes Friday night?
Yes, actually, Bryn teaches on Friday night. She teaches at 6. That's sort of one of the big classes of the week. People come in, and so yeah.
Both rooms are used?
Say again, Maharaj?
Both rooms are used?
Yes, but on Friday, Bryn is in the big room, and then the little room stops being used at about 6.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's room.
Maybe we'll have a little, we'll see. Okay, anybody else like to say hello?
Hi, Krishna Maharaj.
Hi, Bogel.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that I missed or didn't understand. I don't know. That when Rāmānanda Rāya was saying to Lord Chaitanya, stop these serious talks. The serious talks that he was referring to, was it that part?
Say that again.
When Rāmānanda Rāya told Lord Chaitanya that he should stop these serious talks now, right?
I have to listen. Somebody said that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand.
I have to look at the word and the translation. I don't know what verse it is. If you say what verse, I'll go back to it.
Yeah, I don't know, because I didn't know what he was referring to when he said that. Stop all these. I
didn't know at the time either, but I knew you would ask it.
Okay, there was something else that he said that I also missed. When he told Lord Chaitanya, why are you acting like this? What did that refer to?
Why you
are you acting like this? Towards the end of your talk, you were quoting Rāmānanda Rāya.
I'm not sure what reference. I know that Lord Chaitanya was saying, Yeah, why are you, let me just think. Well, Lord Chaitanya was saying, of course you're seeing me because you're seeing the truth because you're Mahabhagavan. Why do you question that?
No, not that part. Oh God, I have to listen to the recording. Huh?
I don't know what part you're talking about.
Okay, I have to go over the section. Okay, Maharaj, thank you for class.
Okay. Anybody else? Say hello.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Krishna-katha. Thank you very much. I learned that we can't see the reality because we project our desires onto the reality, and that covers it totally. But Lord Chaitanya came and he brought this love which he experienced that can change and transform all the universe, including us. So it's his real gift. Thank you greatly.
Thank you so much. Great. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Swell Govinda. Thank you again for class, as always.
Hey. Okay, Lal. Great.
Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, you'll arrive in January, right?
Yeah, I think like January 27th or 28th.
Oh,
so
okay.
a day before your Vrindavan Yatra starts.
Okay, and you'll stay a little bit after in Vrindavan? How does that work?
No, I won't have to. I'll be leaving, I think, the last day of the Govardhan retreat.
You're coming for a week?
No, like I think it's like 10 days or something like that.
Only 10 days?
I work for a slave driver.
That's your mother-in-law or your wife?
Both. I get it from both ends.
I'm going to speak to Bridger. She's got to give you a little more slack here.
I can let you, I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's like 10, 11 days, something like that.
Okay. All right. You'll make the most of it. You'll be like a sponge in a piece of cotton in water.
I'm sure.
Okay. Anybody else? Say hello.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Namaste here. Thank you for the wonderful class.
I hope you're in your farm and not in Tehran.
Yeah, actually, I am. I've come for applying visa.
Where are you now?
I'm in Tehran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
When do you go back to your farm?
5 days from now.
Okay.
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 Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, Haribo. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for this. Radhika here.
Haribo. I love to be by your little altar there. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. It's so nice that you always come to my classes. I really appreciate.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you very much for accepting it.
We have this facility. You know, otherwise, previously, we didn't do this. It was so hard to keep in contact with everyone. But this is really intimate and personal. Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Kinshana Krishna Das.
Hey, Haribo. Nice. Yeah. It's still there on that eternal building, huh?
Somehow or other, Maharaj, we're still going on.
Maybe we should touch base and discuss the letter you sent me. Be interesting.
Thank you. I have some more thoughts since I wrote that.
Okay, I'm coming on the 17th too, so I'll give class on the 17th at 5 o'clock. Okay. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Great to see you. Okay, Haribo. Good. From Israel. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here.
And Kishore Radha.
Hey, Tota, I sent you a WhatsApp. Let me know the whereabouts of Vrindavan.
Okay. I didn't get the WhatsApp. I'm not on WhatsApp.
Well, you once sent me a message by WhatsApp. Maybe you're off it now. Okay, never mind. But anyway, I just find out, how he's doing. I know his wife was expecting. Did she have her kid yet?
I'm not sure.
Kishore, do you know?
Who are we talking of?
Vrindavan.
Oh, no, I think she's due in January.
Okay. Okay.
I'll write to you.
Okay.
Okay. Haribol.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to head out now. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindu bheva cha pati